Thanks for listening to English Go Podcast. To listen without advertisements or to read episode transcripts, visit englishgo.co.uk for more information.
Flexibility is great. That's why there's yoga. Flexibility for your insurance coverage is great too. That's why there's United Healthcare Insurance Plans. Underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, United Healthcare Insurance Plans offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage for medical, vision, dental, and more. One of these plans may be right for you if you're, say, between jobs, coming off your parents' plan, turning a side hustle into a full hustle, or even missed open enrollment. Want more flexibility? Find out more about United Healthcare Insurance Plans at uh1.com.
Hi, this is Craig Robinson from Ways to Win, and support for this podcast comes from Invesco QQQ, the official ETF of the NCAA. The future isn't scary. Not realizing its potential, however, could be. Just like on the recruiting trail, I've seen potential come in many forms as a coach. Learn more at Invesco.com/QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
If there's one thing that my family and friends know me for, it's being an amazing gift giver. I owe it all to Celebrations Passport from 1-800-Flowers.com, my one-stop shopping site that has amazing gifts for every occasion. With Celebrations Passport, I get free shipping on thousands of amazing gifts. And the more gifts I give, the more perks and rewards I earn. To learn more and take your gift giving to the next level, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
I was able to meet up with some British people in Tokyo lately because one of the people I work with at my company back in England came to Japan with his girlfriend, and we were able to meet up for a day, which was really fun. And I gave them a choice of where do you want to meet up? What type of place would you like to meet up in? And I gave them a choice of like a British styled pub, or like a Japanese-styled bar. Anyway, they chose the British pub, which I thought was quite interesting. I'm not sure what I would have chosen. I mean, if I go to another country, obviously I want to see lots of, places. I want lots of that country's culture and, traditional places that people living in that country would go to. But there's also a part of me that wants to know, well, hang on, what's a British pub like in Japan? So, yeah, I'm not sure what I would have chosen either, but yeah. So a British pub it was, and it was one that we'd been to recently. So we were back there again. I just can't believe how many British pubs I seem to be going into lately. It's, like I said in one of the earlier episodes, I hadn't been to one for like a whole year. And then all of a sudden, we just seem to be going to quite a few of them. And this one was, I think I mentioned last time, the experience was a bit weird for me because it was like this very familiar setting that I hadn't been in for so long. Well, this time was even weirder, I would say, or maybe even more normal because it was a British pub and there were two more British people in there. And my wife was with us too, and we were just talking in English all night, and it was, to be honest, it was really nice. I felt like I was my old self again, because I can't express myself. I can't explain things I want to explain as fluently as I can in English when I'm using Japanese. So it was nice just to be able to use this old sort of part of me that I don't get so much of a chance to use anymore. So yeah, it was a really fun evening, and I noticed in this particular pub there was some kind of meetup event going on where people were meeting up to a language exchange. So people were practicing Japanese, some people were practicing English, so it was an English-Japanese language exchange meetup. And I thought that looked pretty fun. I think I've mentioned quite a few times before on this podcast that I've not been able to find anywhere the places that I would go to, the language exchanges I would go to when I was living in England. Well, I suppose this would definitely be one of them. It looked very similar to the other events I'd been to. So who knows? Maybe I'll try going there at some point in the future and practicing some Japanese that way and maybe meeting some new people. It's not too far away from us. It's about an hour away. But it's not quite as handy as the one I used to go to in Manchester, where I was just 10 minutes away by train from the city centre. And you had to walk maybe another 10 minutes after that, so I guess 20 minutes in total. But that's nothing really. So yeah, it was good for many reasons, and one of the reasons was I might have found somewhere that's an interesting place to go and practice some Japanese. So we shall see about that in the future. I don't know. But yeah, it was really fun meeting up with some other people, which I haven't done for a long time. Well, especially not British people. The last British people I saw in Japan would be my parents back in September. So yeah, it was a good experience. I think I'm getting used to the sort of British pub in Japan experience now. Although one thing did catch me out, did surprise me a little, and that was when I went to pay, because it was all in English. I can use English everywhere in this pub, and the lady who served me behind the bar, she said, like, how do you want to pay? And I said, pay by card, please. It's all like very normal, very typical English conversation about payment and things like that. And she said, that'll be 2,000 something. And I was like, 2,000? What? And then I quickly realized, yes, of course, it's Japanese money. It's in yen. So, yeah, but it was weird. It's like, it was so, like, the experience was so English. It sort of tricked my mind into expecting to hear, like, some, like, pounds, like, so in pounds maybe, it'd be about, like, 12 pounds or something. So you expect to hear 12 and you hear 2,000 and you think, what? It's weird actually, because normally, obviously everywhere I go normally, everything's in Japanese. And if someone says 2,000 yen in Japanese to me, it just sounds so normal. So yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe I'm just used to hearing like these large numbers in Japanese, but not hearing it in English. Anyway, it was very fun being able to talk to these two people and ask them their opinions of Japan so far. So this was only their second day in Japan, actually. So, I guess you wouldn't have too many opinions about it so far. But, yeah, they did say they were surprised by, like, how sort of, like, safe it can seem over here. And they were talking about, I think it was some girl taking some photograph. And I don't know, she'd got like maybe some expensive big camera or something like that, and she just put it down by the side of her to use her iPhone to take another picture, and just sort of left it at the side of her and wasn't too wasn't looking out for it, wasn't checking on it too much, and one of these people was saying like, oh, if that was England, you'd be worried that someone was going to steal it from you if you just left your camera anywhere. And it's true. There is that sort of feeling. It depends where you are in England, but particularly like in busy cities, you always feel a bit like you've got to keep your belongings, you've got to keep the items that you own, the things that you're taking out with you, you've got to watch out for them. Watch out for your wallet, watch out for your phone, because there are people who will steal it from you. And I've heard a few people who've had who've had things stolen from them, who've had their wallet stolen or they've had their phone stolen. Yeah, not a nice experience at all. So it's nice that they're able to recognize that Japan has that sort of that safe feeling, I suppose. But at the same time, it's a bit sad as well, because it's not nice that people in England have to feel like that, have to feel like they need to protect their belongings, their personal items all the time. And they were also talking about the trains and how cheap the trains are compared to England, and how well they run. They're on time and punctual, and yeah. But it's just another thing that I feel sort of sad about, because England's had terrible train service and public transport service for years. I don't know. Maybe it's never been good. Who knows? But it's just sad to hear, because I can't understand why people aren't fixing it. I can't understand why Japan's able to do it so well, and England can only do it so poorly. And is it really that hard to fix the problem in England? I don't know. But every year, nothing seems to change. So it is. I don't have any hope for it ever becoming good, to be honest. I think it will continue to be very expensive and continue to be a bad service forever. I don't know. Well, forever is a very long time, but I would be surprised if it changed in my lifetime. I just have no hope for it. And I think many people in England feel the same way about our transport. So, it's part of me is happy, you've seen how good Japanese transport is. Great. Yeah, it is great, isn't it? I live here and I can enjoy it. But the other half of me is I sort of feel bad that it's so broken in England. Anyway, they seem to be having a lovely time in Japan, and they've got almost 2 weeks ahead of them to do lots of exploring and experiencing new stuff. It's the first time here in Japan, so I hope they have a lovely time. I'm sure they will. They were telling me that everyone they know who's ever been to Japan has always come back with and had a very positive experience, and always talked about how much they liked it or how much they'd like to go back. And they were saying that's not the same for every place. And there's some places that they've been where they've thought, yeah, okay, we've seen it now, don't need to come back here again. So yeah, very, very, very positive reviews about Japan there. And I suppose it was nice. It made me feel happier about living here. Yes, there are some, really good things about living in Japan that I should be thankful for. So yeah, it was nice. But the thing I enjoyed the most was just being able to chat in British English the whole evening and drink British beer, which was very fun. Okay, until next time, bye-bye.
If there's one thing that my family and friends know me for, it's being an amazing gift giver. I owe it all to Celebrations Passport from 1-800-Flowers.com, my one-stop shopping site that has amazing gifts for every occasion. With Celebrations Passport, I get free shipping on thousands of amazing gifts. And the more gifts I give, the more perks and rewards I earn. To learn more and take your gift giving to the next level, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
Hey everyone, I'm Craig Robinson, co-host of the Ways to Win podcast, alongside my good friend John Calipari. I've been on the go recently. Phoenix, Kansas City, Chicago. If you're like me and have a home but aren't always at home, you have an Airbnb. Hosting your home or a spare room is a very practical side hustle. If you live in a big game town, you can Airbnb your place for fans to stay in. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
$1-800-Flowers.com is more than your birthday, anniversary, or just because gift-giving destination. We put our hearts into everything we do to help you celebrate all life's special occasions with friends and family. From our farmers and bakers, florists and makers, everything from 1-800-Flowers is made with love every step of the way, because we know that nothing is more important than delivering a smile. To learn more, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.
Thanks for listening until the very end of the show. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give my podcast a rating, or if you have the time, write a review. It's a really nice way of letting me know you enjoy these episodes and encourages me to make more of them for you. Thanks very much and have a lovely day.